black people would have been locked up. They couldn't even get off the boat. And I don't come home with the people that I left with, my family better call the police immediately. Hey y'all, welcome to the Cookout, where we talk about healing life and things that everybody wants to avoid. Today we're going to be talking about 3 controversial topics on the internet that I'm going to give my perspective as a young, straight, black woman in America. It's kind of like a little mukbang type of girl, type of thing, little thing, until my podcast comes out. So technically it's going to be like a little mini podcast. I have some thoughts I want to share. So first one, Drew Afualo in the trans community. Number one, off rip, I'm not gonna have a sit down like round table discussion if the party that we're talking about, there's no representative for them to share their experience. I'm just not gonna do that. I'm not gay and I'm not trans. What am I sharing? I mean, yeah, we all gonna have opinions, but if we're gonna have a discussion about it, a healthy one, especially if you're a person with status or like a platform, you shouldn't be having these conversations. I feel that it should be used for education. If the freaking person in the community is not there to represent the experience, that's just me. I understand like how, oh my god, I understand she's going about it in a healthy way and stuff like that, and she's trying to be positive and stuff, but the backlash is kind of crazy, and I think we all know why. But me as a woman though, I will say that her, like when she was on TikTok trying to like bring it back, you know what I mean, she said something that I feel like was very dismissive, and in her case was not efficient at all. She said that because women were in the comments, I guess. I don't really look too much into it because it's not really like my community to be really having a say so. But this is where I tuned in. She said something about trans women having a better experience or more something experience than a biological woman. I feel like that's kind of crazy. Me as a biological woman, I feel like that was very dismissive and unfair to say. I mean, she's a biological woman as well, so I feel like it was kind of her just trying to, I don't know why she said that. Child, I don't know why she said that. I don't know why she said that, girl. And you don't have to say, oh, somebody's experience is better than ours. You can still say their experience is different than ours. And that's why it would have been a good idea for you to have a person in the trans community there in that moment. I feel like that's important. And I also feel like for you to say that when women were saying like, oh, they were mad. The women were mad. The biological women were mad because you can't say that somebody's experience is better than somebody else's, especially with being like the original, right? And then people were like, oh, well, we have a uterus, we have periods, we give birth and all of that. She was saying that's misogynistic to say. What do y'all think about that? I feel like that's kind of crazy because she said, oh, it's a pillar of misogyny. Okay, but we cannot be misogynistic as a biological woman. Am I wrong? Like, we're speaking on our experience. You cannot say that that's wrong for somebody speaking on their experience. I finished ice cream, y'all, but I just feel like that was unfair to say. I get it, the pro women, you don't want to be exclusive, or you don't want to exclude anybody and whatever, but like, let's not disrespect the community to try to uplift someone else. They can both be uplifted at the same time, because when you do that, that's where you get the tit for tat for both communities going at it with each other, and it's not even about that. It shouldn't even be like that. Anyway, yeah, she shouldn't have said that, and she should have had a trans representative at the talk. And then she should have said that because we were saying that because we have periods and all of that, trying to plead our original biological woman experience, something that we felt was dismissed, that was misogynistic. I don't know. That was kind of unfair to say. Okay, next one on the list, Nolan Wells. Okay, this one is gonna hit home because I am black, and I do feel like if it was the other way around, black people would have been locked up they couldn't even get off the boat. They would have been locked up on the freaking dock. They would have been locked up, handcuffed, in jail, held for questioning, all types of stuff. I do feel like that. I do feel like it's kind of crazy that how they're a big part of the investigation and all. They should be held for questioning. And if they were, okay. If they weren't, that's a problem. That's definitely a problem in the system. That's definitely a problem in the system. And okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about, because I know people are like, oh, it's because they were all white. Some people are like, it's not about color. Some people are like, he could have been drugged, he could have been drowned, he could have jumped off the boat, he could have fell off the boat, he could have got beat up, he could have, whatever the case, let's just think about it like this, okay? Let's just take the color out of it for a second. I'm gonna say this because if it was me, let's take color out of it, so it doesn't even matter if my friends happen to be white, Mexican, black, whatever. If that was me and I went somewhere, it didn't even have to be on the damn boat, on an island. I could have been to the club, and I left with a group of people that I so-called my friends, my homegirls, that I've known since I was little, childhood, grew up together, right? That's what they said. And I don't come home with the people that I left with. My family better call the police immediately. Because what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? I don't even go to the bathroom with my homegirls and leave them in the bathroom. Vice versa. And if you do, you're a terrible friend, because anything could happen. That's why you don't, because it's a safety issue, right? And it has nothing to do with, let's take the color out of it. It has nothing to do with that. It's just a moral foundation that you have when you go out as a group. You don't leave without somebody, and you don't leave somebody, or you don't get left. You always go as a group. You come with the same people you left with, period. So just the moral base of that is off. It's unsettling. Like, what do you mean, especially at an island on a boat? You know this boy don't got a boat. Even if he did say, oh, I'm gonna go with this girl, why are y'all not sticking, like, why are you not sticking around as homeboys? You gonna leave him, you gonna let him go with this girl, and that's it? How you expect him to get home? And then for Nolan Wells, like, I hope that his family and everybody just sees that he wouldn't have the common sense to leave with the people that he came with. Why would you not do that? For some girl. I don't know the relationship that they had or whatever, but if your homeboys are your homeboys and y'all grew up together, I'm sorry, it's unsettling. It doesn't sound right. You're gonna go home with the people that you left with, especially on an island. That's like going to Disneyland. You're going to Disneyland with a group of people. Why would you leave somebody there? Because what? That doesn't make any sense to me. And then the fact that y'all had his phone and his keys. How the hell you expect him to call somebody, get home, and you left him on the island talking about we don't know what happened to him, but y'all had his stuff. How you expect him to get home? And then, okay, well, they were drinking. Then that goes into who you pick your friends to be. So is it the color thing? Because I know as black people, we don't do that. It's a code. It's code. Like, that's the most mind-boggling thing to me. Take the race out of it, bro. That right there, y'all should be locked the hell up. What do you mean you left him there without his phone, without his keys? You just left him there? Y'all are charged for murder. Y'all are charged for neglect. He's his own person and his own man, but like, he was, y'all came together, y'all partied together, last seen with him and that girl. That girl said that they didn't go in the boat, or they didn't leave together, or whatever. So where he at? And then his daddy went looking for him that night, and he wasn't on the island. So if he's not here, he's not there, he's not nowhere, where is he at? That's unsettling to me. So therefore, I think his friends, if they didn't kill him, they know what happened to that boy. If they didn't kill him, they know what happened to that boy. How you know where his phone and his keys at, but not him? So he left his keys and phone in the boat and then went on about his business? And then why are you not giving it to his dad? That's his shit. What? I'm getting irritated. Next one is going to be about Krishan, Jaden, and Nevaeh. You know, these type of things with men, like, you can't really tell somebody what to do with their relationship. You can't tell anybody what to do with their child. You just can't do that. You can never do that. You just support them from far away, or you just leave them alone, because at the end of the day, a grown person is going to do what a grown person is going to do, period. And I feel like everybody on the internet is wasting their time, wasting their breath, and it's not you. First of all, you're not experiencing what they're experiencing. So if you don't understand the experience, you really have no say. You really don't know what you would do in that situation. You don't. From the outside looking in, of course, it's going to be easier to say than do it, because you don't have to. They do at the end of the day. And I feel like that's just that. Like, at the end of the day, that is just that. And I feel like the internet encapsulates, or it magnifies, the negative and the tea. You don't know all of the things that's going on. You don't know if she's getting help for the baby. You don't know if she's getting help medically, or freaking therapy, physical therapy. You don't know the behind the scenes. And if she's not willing to talk about it, she's not willing to go, then don't, because that's her safety, that's her child. Like, of course she's putting herself out on the internet for people to see, but if she's ignoring something on purpose, she's not exposing that. So as a person and as a human being, you need to respect that. Like, don't take it because they're on the internet that you have an obligation to their life. You don't. You really don't. And that should be that. They're on the internet, of course, they're known. You parasocial, you feel like you know them, you get to speak on their life, and you really don't. I know a lot of people out there probably got somebody that they know used to smoke and drink when they're pregnant, ain't doing what they're supposed to do with their baby, got 100 baby mamas, and sleeping with somebody else's baby daddy, and getting walked like a dog, and all the extra stuff. It's happening in real life, but because this is on the internet, it's magnified. So of course you're gonna know, and you're gonna see it, and you're parasocial, so you feel like you gotta say something, and you really don't. People are going through this in real life. People are judging them the same. What are they doing? Nothing. So anything, I don't know, that's just irritating. Like, just leave these people alone. Leave the people alone, especially because if they're not talking about it, they don't want to, and they don't have to. Like, where's the human decency and respect? Especially for somebody's child. Like, I get it, it's a child, you want to protect the child and do all of this and all of that, but again, she's a human in the real world. You don't think that the police came to her house, CPS, doctors, all of that? You don't think that's going on? She got way too much money to not be going to the doctor. She got way too much money to not send him to no therapy. And she can see what's going on with that baby. She's probably getting him help. And if she don't want to talk to you about it, she don't have to. Even if she knew you in real life and she didn't want to talk to you about it in real life, she don't have to. I'm sure she done been through the ringer with all of this and all of that with everybody and everything. And she's, what are you going to do about it? Nothing. That's my pet peeve, is seeing people on the internet get bullied for a life that a normal person would live, but because they're on the internet, they have to be submitting to the bullying. They have to take it. And I heard somebody was like, oh, because you're on the internet, you put your stuff on the internet, you have to let us know. They should know that comes with it. But as a human being, you have a choice whether or not to speak on something that you know is going to be inappropriate or is not going to be helpful. I feel like a lot of people use their tea for their entertainment, and that's so mean. Like, what if somebody did that to you? Because I know y'all got tea. Everybody should stink. Everybody should stink. My shit stink. But anyway, what do you guys think? That's the real question. What do y'all think? I need to have a different perspective, you know? I like to have different perspectives of things because I might be missing some stuff, you know? So I said all of that to just say, I don't know, because I said a lot. And moral of the story, respect. Just respect. But anyway, y'all. Yeah. Bye-bye. All right, y'all. That's it from me. Let me know what you guys think about down below in the comments though, for real. I really want to understand, like, this is a whole lot of going on. The world needs some healing, for real. Yeah, hopefully I see you guys in the next cookout though.